Good evening.
How we doing?
We're doing. We're doing. I've got a sidekick tonight.
The show barely started, and I heard Mom go, "Oh boy,
Oh boy.
I go through this for an hour with her. Anyway,
you got the live version today of it, Lauren.
Yeah, the live version.
You guys
Yeah.
love me so.
So welcome everybody. We are that's Lauren. I'm Carl. That's John over there. We're down in Ocean City, New Jersey, as you probably know by now. So we're doing our little family huddle down here. Been great. Weather's been great. Johnny's holding the store down. So it's been good to get away for a little bit, and we weren't quite sure. We never do every year. We really aren't sure where we're going to do the show from, but here we are. We're condo 102 at the beaches on the boardwalk. The backdrop is the ocean. If you can figure it out, it's kind of, I don't know, a little overcast maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe kind of, but we go with tradition, right? And we got a show every Wednesday night, so
That's for sure.
Can't miss it."
We can't miss it, and we can't let anybody down. And I see our number one guy, Joe Stinger's already on the board. So, Joe, thank you. Thanks to everybody for all the support. We've been away for a couple of weeks, so it's good to get back to talking a bunch of nonsense and seeing where all these Philly teams are at the moment. But before we dig into all that, I know John's grasping to bring everybody up to date on the fantasy baseball.
Oh yeah.
I think if we lose any more players, we're not going to have a league.
Well, that's the good thing with our game. There's always somebody to fill in. You just got to just replace somebody. That's all. And you're not replacing it off. Some scrub. You're getting another top player in return. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen that on my list, so I must be getting the bad list.
Oh, you get. Well, I'm still behind you, so I got to catch up to you. So you're getting the shit list.
I knew it.
Until I catch up to you, at least anyway.
There you go. At least you're honest. At least you're honest.
Well, I'm playing to win, so and it's not fun when I have to listen to Jen every day because she's still in the league. Her lead's growing here a little bit, which I'm not liking too much, to be honest. But because that's all she keeps saying. So am I still winning? Yes, you are. Like, come on, You're not handling that very well, huh? No, not at all. Not at all. No. Tony and her they actually got 10 different players, which is a lot, which is good for Tony to have a chance to catch up to her going down the stretch here. So it's not that they all have pretty much the same team. They got 10 different players. So it's fun. We'll be pretty soon we're gonna be going. We're gonna be doubling up on fantasy football or fantasy sports too, because we got the football coming soon as well. With football starting tomorrow, so things will get real when we got the two sports going at one time. Everybody's
you got that covered, right?
Oh yeah, yep. I got the list ready to go, ready to push send. I just got to figure out the right time to send it out. Maybe coming up soon. It's gonna be with the football season starting tomorrow with the Bears and Texans. We were talking with the Hall of Fame team. We'll be doing that so I can do my work Excel work spreadsheet or whatever and get all the lineups in and stuff. So yeah, that'll be fun as well.
All right, so you got Jen in first place, you got Tony in second place, and who's in third place?
My cousin Paul.
Where did this cousin Paul come from?
He's the one that lives down the street. He's been here in the store with his son.
Gotcha. All right.
And then you got Tim. Tim he's a fantasy baseball player a lot. And then you got Big Jason, John Strollo, and then some guy named Carl. So
I believe if I'm not mistaken, I believe John Strollo was the guy who won the.
he did win, yes.
What did he win? Help me out. I'm my.
Football?
Did he win the fantasy football last year?
No, I think actually didn't he just win the NCAA tournament one
That's what it was.
Okay.
when he was
Yeah,
just in the store? Yeah. John's been the football last year. He was up there at the top as well. So yeah, he's a pretty knowledgeable player as well. So
Okay.
you got yourself there, and then Scotty Black's right behind you. So he was talking a lot of trash passing you, so and then you got him back. So.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah. So it's all good. So yeah, it's been fun. Everybody seems to be having fun with it. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of injuries, but we've been getting that taken care of, and hopefully it won't happen as much in the football season. But we'll see. It always happens. It always happens sometimes in football, right?
All right.
So yeah.
All right, so we're caught up from being away for a couple of weeks. We're all up to speed.
Oh yeah. I think
everybody's got their injured players replaced and notified, and
yep, everybody who wants to replace them replaces them, and if you don't want to replace them, you can keep them in there if you want. That's fine too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So let's move on, and maybe. I don't know. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go?
Hey, you're in control. I've never seen the notepad, in person before. Those are some really vague notes.
Well, yeah. I'm a vague.
For a minute, I didn't know what FBB stood for, so I've been trying to figure that out for a while, and then it occurred to me it was fantasy baseball. So
it's my little cheat sheet.
Okay.
It's my little cheat sheet.
Then the next thing says annual shore show. But did we already cover that?
We already covered that.
Oh, we already covered that. I wasn't sure if we were telling people more about that.
Well, I mean, we can.
Okay.
We can. I mean, we've been talking a lot about it. It's and I'm sure we're probably no different than a lot of families because this is a family resort town, but it's very family oriented down here. You know what I mean? And you have tendencies to always do the same things. You know what I mean? You go to the beach, you go to the boardwalk, you go for the rides, if you got little kids, so you're, it just seems like, the atmosphere is pretty, can become pretty stagnant if you want it to, you know what I mean? So.
Well, humans in general are creatures of habit, and I feel like that's accelerated when you're down the shore. You go to this, it might not always happen on the same day necessarily, but you go to the same places for breakfast, dinner. There's always sort of the same daily routine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Plus, you guys got to book it for the next year if it's the thing that you guys go back and you book it for the same year. So you kind of you guys see a lot of the same people every week when you guys.
No, because our week changes. We're not really married to a certain week that we're down.
Okay.
The last couple of years, it's fallen, right around my dad's birthday. But, other than that, we're not. It's really what unit is available that we're interested in at some point in the summer. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we've been coming to the same spot, for a very long time. You know what I mean? And, we.
Do you remember the first year you came to Beaches? When you guys switched over?
I don't. No, I don't. Because we go way back. Remember we used to, we'd have 20, 25 people sleeping, on the floor, sleeping
I don't know
bags.
that it was ever that many.
It was a lot of people.
It was a lot because Mom and I were talking about this today because the people at the pool that we've run into the last couple of days, I think they easily have 10 people in one of these units, and they're not very big. It's me and my parents in this unit here, and it's tight. I mean, I
Well, we
can't
used
imagine.
to move furniture, for
Yeah.
air mattresses, sleeping bags down the hallway. I mean, we used to have a bunch.
And it's one bathroom for all
Yeah,
these people.
yeah, that's the other kicker.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, Jen's in that same boat with you guys right now. Her friend Melissa, the Wombolds, they're down there at the shore, and they got probably 25 people or more themselves doing the same thing. They're all together, and they take up a whole big half a block on the pool on the beach when they go down there. And like I said, they're all just moving stuff around, and you just find a spot on the floor, and you're having a good time. We did that as a family as well. We were always packed in, and you had nieces and your cousins and everybody coming over, and
it's just something about the shore. You just sort of make it work.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joe's bringing up an interesting point, and we hit on that too. Cranking up the hot water heater, to the highest. No, we got in trouble actually. We got in trouble.
Now the door's locked.
Yeah.
Now I don't think you're allowed into it. You can't,
we used to crank it up so everybody could get a hot shower.
Right.
But no, it's it's tradition. It's fun. Obviously, you lose people along the way. You're always talking about the good old days. The days when like I used to bring my parents down here, and I got started with Sue and her family way back. Her parents were, they were always here.
Yeah.
In Ocean City. So I mean, it's a fun time. It's a good time. Or I guess we wouldn't come back every year.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've been trying to find some new spots to go and eat. All the years we've been going, we tried the beach club on the boardwalk for breakfast this morning. Outdoors.
We've probably walked by that place 1,000 times,
Mm.
and just never. It was just never a spot we went to until today.
Yeah.
Good, and it was a good breakfast. We talk about it all the time, Johnny. How much we enjoy breakfast, and
Oh yeah.
it's good breakfast. So
Yeah.
we enjoyed that, and we're actually trying to figure out where the post game party's going to be after the show. So
That's right.
um,
I think it's going to be Charlie's in Summers Point. If there's anyone on that's in the area and wants to come hang out with us,
There you go.
be there.
yep, the wings are good. The orange crushes are fantastic. We tried those the other night.
We did on your birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
We
And we
finished
go-
the night there.
We go to a place called Joe Diorio's in Summers Point. That's kind of like a traditional spot that Sue's father used to enjoy to go to, and that's what the Miller Lite.
Miller
Yeah.
High Life.
Miller High Life.
Miller Light would at least be tolerable.
Yeah. Miller High Life.
Miller High Life is rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I still can't believe that they put that out there, but they do.
You,
that people buy it?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
and the best part too is it's always like you were talking about. You guys have like your location, like the Northeast Philadelphia people would have their location, and then like
Yep.
everybody would be in like different areas. Delco have their spots, that
Yep.
they go to, and all your neighborhoods go down to basically move
Oh,
down.
yeah.
To the river,
Oh,
know,
it's
I
all
mean, you
over.
see a million PA license plates.
right.
Everything on the boardwalk is Philly sports. I mean, it's like Delco moves down here for the summer.
Yep. Exactly.
Wildwood is huge.
Yep.
Sea Isle is huge. I saw actually just before the show, I saw Mike Spadali was down here with his family taking a family photo at the those crazy photos you take. You dress up as cowboys and
The
Indians.
Yeah.
old time
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the old time photos. He was up there.
Just today?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
hysterical.
like a half hour prior to the show.
That's
Yeah, so it's fun. It's good.
Yeah.
So
well, 5 seconds into getting here on Saturday, someone's yelling Carl's Cards in
Yeah.
the complex that
Yeah.
knew you.
yeah, one of the owners remembered us from last year. We were hanging at the pool, and naturally they want to know where you're from, and just you give them a little bit, and they want more.
Right.
So. But yeah, so it's good. I ran into a couple of guys last night on the boardwalk as well. The two of them were from South Jersey. The one has since moved on to Florida, but the other guy, he's like, you got to do more 80 fires. I need more prop and Tim
Yeah, he's
Kerr.
like, I need Brian Prop. I'm like, well, I don't know how you missed him.
I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. Let me work on that. Let me see if prop's available.
Well,
So anyway.
Here's one thing I wanted before we move on to another subject. What's your top 5 things to do down the beach, down the shore?
Ooh,
And do you call it the beach or the shore?
definitely down the shore.
Down the shore.
Right.
Just like we were talking with Todd Zalecki, how everyone else in the world calls it, going to the beach. Even with Anthony, when we first started dating, I was like, oh, well, I go down the shore with my parents for the summer. And he's lived, obviously, in Reading a lot longer now. So he had general idea. But he's like, what does that even mean?
Right.
I was like, I don't know. It's just down the shore. And I don't even think twice about it because I'm so accustomed to it.
Right.
So, no, it's definitely down the shore. It's always never the beach. If I'm talking to somebody who might not know what that means, I'll say to the beach. But otherwise, it's always the shore.
Mm.
But top 5 things.
Definitely number 1 would probably be seafood.
So finding places to eat that have seafood.
Because we always seem to want to find places that have good seafood.
Okay.
There you go.
This isn't chronological order. You know what I mean? This isn't like top
that's not
5.
number 1.
That may not be top.
You're just spewing out things.
Yeah.
Because I thought of mini golf first. Like, not first, but that's what came to my mind first.
Yeah. Just, tradition naturally, the competition of,
Yeah, you didn't even talk about it on your blog this morning. Did you forget?
I was kind of like hoping that, that might have been one of your, your layup questions or something.
Okay.
I thought that would have been good, good subject for the show.
Got it. Okay.
You know what I mean? And
So
I didn't want to rub it in that I had 7 holes in one and I kicked your ass and I shot 5 under par.
So much for not wanting to rub it in, but yeah.
Well, I would have started the pot eventually. So that was
I did get 5 hole-in-ones yesterday.
It was, right out of the gate.
It was horrible. He gets a hole-in-one and I get a 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing mini golf, because we've talked about it. I think we've played just about every mini golf down here.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. I agree, yeah.
So, but playing mini golf, seafood, finding good places, good watering holes to just hang out and watch the games. Like we were at where were we at again the other night? We took Mom to Joe Diorio's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Yankees, Phillies, and it's a 50-50 crowd. I mean, you got to be careful where you're at now because there's a lot of Yankee fans.
Yeah.
So finding good spots, and we have tendencies to fall back to the same plan, the same places.
Mm-hmm.
So what else?
The arcade. That's always fun.
It's always competitive to play the games.
Skee ball.
We get into some wars.
Mm-hmm. I'd say just walking on the boardwalk, seeing what new stores and.
Yeah, that's always a staple. The going to the boardwalk.
Yeah, and we're right here, so it's
right.
It's pretty easy to just kind of head out there. Beach, pool.
Yeah, I mean
fishing,
we're Lauren still goes to the beach, not so much Sue or I, and we've got we have access to a nice little pool, here at the condo as well.
Emphasis on little.
4x4x4x4x4.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say 4?
Yeah.
No.
4 feet deep, 4 feet all around. So yeah, little pool.
I've seen hot tubs that are bigger.
Oh, there you go.
And everybody that walks by has to comment, look at that little pool.
But you know what? It gets
the job done.
You come back from the beach, you want to splash off, you know what I mean, or whatever. So we're big creatures of habit. So
We do a lot of feeding of the bay and the ocean, depending on where we're fishing at.
Yep.
We don't do a lot of fishing.
Yep.
We sort of feed the.
Yeah.
Fish
Somebody's got to feed them.
We
Yep.
try.
Yep.
We try, but
I think we're going on maybe 3 years of
nothing.
nothing. I think it's us.
Yeah.
It's got to be us. So,
What about go-karts? You guys like the go-karts?
we don't do many go-karts.
I think we may have done that once.
Yeah, we don't do many go-karts.
Yeah, we don't do much there.
That's a staple for me.
Is it?
I'm
Yeah.
the Indianapolis 500 champion.
Yeah,
Nice.
you and running the boys over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
can
are
see
they
that.
all in 3 different, or is somebody is like?
Oh yeah.
you?
Everybody's different. Oh yeah. No, everybody's in a different go-kart.
Okay, got it.
Oh yeah.
Got it.
Oh yeah. When they were like 10 and 11 years old, just smoking them. Oh, that was the
Oh
best.
yeah. Well, I mean, when I was younger, one of the nights was always like ride night.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
You know, and I would always go down and go on a few rides and stuff. But I think I was always like scared of the go-karts. Like I didn't know how to drive it, and I was going to get stuck. And
Oh
But
yeah.
you always had the aggressive crowd.
yeah,
You know
I
what I
just
mean?
didn't.
And-
You know, I was
Right.
always scared somebody was going to like run me over. You
And-
apparently, John.
Oh yeah, it would be me.
afraid
It was
gonna run me
definitely me.
over.
No bumping the cars. Okay, whatever. You get out of the way.
Yeah, that would have been me. Yeah. So no, I was big. You know, some rides and some sand art down. You know, they have those like little like arts and crafts stations
Yeah.
throughout the rides. That was me. That was my
Yep.
spot.
There you go.
But Joe Stinger's asking about the beach, and I mean, you know, they've. I feel like they're constantly replenishing the beaches down here at the Jersey Shore because the storms just wipe out half the beach every year.
Right.
But we're right here on 14th Street, and they've got a great fishing pier that's been around for a really, really long time, and it extends out pretty far now.
There's an open house tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go
Yeah,
become members.
we're gonna go check. We're gonna go check out and see how that plays out.
I think
So,
you have to be like somewhat good at fishing. I mean, there probably has to be like a test you have to pass.
yeah, I'm sure the test is just filling out a check.
Right.
I guess, but
Or getting the squid on the right, on the right spot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I
as
mean,
long as get the hook, get the hook into the squid and not your finger.
Yep. All right, let's kind of
next up it says Phillies versus Yankees.
yeah. So they didn't fare very well, Johnny. I don't know. I'm really I'm down on them right now. I'm really down on them. I'm down on, and it's not one particular player, but it can be if you want to ask me who it is.
It's going to be number 3, one for 30.
Well, I mean, it's just terrible, to think. I mean that's your leader, right? That's your guy that's going to lead you to the promised land. And when you hear those numbers, what? That's 1 for 30 in the last 17 games.
No, I think that's since the All-Star break. So
Okay, since the All-Star.
Well, that's 15.
Okay.
So 15 games or whatever. So
Okay, and I mean he's got what, like 4 home runs? But he's not doing any of the little things either. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
it's getting out to his defense too, because the defense is taking.
You can see it. You can see it. He's getting lost out there. But I'm not gonna sit here and blame all of this on one guy. Although we could, they're just playing bad situational baseball. And I think it starts with the manager. And you woke me up this morning with the post of the lineup. For today. I mean, to me, here's another must-win game, right? You can't lose today. You know what I mean? You just positively can't lose, and
But don't you think that lineup may have looked a little bit different if they didn't go 12 innings last night and it be in a day game today?
No, because that's what Topper does.
Right.
When there's a day off, he wants to get all of his guys, give them all a day off.
Well, in his post-game press conference, he's talking about giving Harper a day off. And
Well,
I think that's different than tomorrow's day off already.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I just looked at it like they were going to be off tomorrow anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because they're traveling today, so it's that they're going out there.
And I like to kind of like gradually build into these these bad conversations. But how many times today did he have the opportunity to pinch hit for the catcher?
Stubbs.
Stubbs?
Yeah.
How many times did he have runners on base and he could have brought JT in to pinch hit, and for whatever reason he refuses to?
Because it's his day off. That's why. It's his day off. That was his answer. He had the whole day off, so he wasn't coming in to hit.
I mean, Dad, I think this goes back to what we witnessed firsthand when we went out to Pittsburgh, because we haven't had a show that you've been on since that happened. I mean, that was rough. Those 3 games out there. I mean, they obviously got one of those wins, but otherwise, I mean, that was a rough weekend.
Yeah.
They've been rough, right? Since the Dodger series.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've lost the 5 series since the Dodgers.
5 series in a row. This is their first getting swept series of the year.
Yeah. Which is something to say for them. I mean, that they're always coming back and finding ways to win. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I didn't like that today, and then we talked about this a little bit. Is Bryson Stott the new Scott Kingery?
We could go on and on and on. I don't know why the kid's not playing every day. I'm totally frustrated with that.
I mean, I get it. Sosa was hot, but again,
he was hot filling in for Trey Turner.
Right. Well, right, and that's why they were trying to get his bat still in the lineup. But as we've seen it over the past couple of years, bench players are bench players for a reason. Like they're good quality players, but they have a shelf life. and Sosa was amazing when he was there. Batted almost as well as Trey Turner did, hitting home runs, batting 330.
Well, he did what he was supposed to do.
Right.
It's the next man up mentality, and that's exactly what he did, and he did it very, very well.
Right.
We're fortunate that Trey came back, and Trey carried the team for a few games.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're just not, that bottom end of that lineup, and I don't know, with the addition of Austin Hayes and,
that's really the only bat, right? We got.
Every time I want to get excited about, Brandon Marsh, he swings at some god awful pitches and just reverts right back to being, just a bad at bat.
Right. Yeah.
So you may have gotten yourself a left fielder. Okay, I'm excited because the kid has tools. You know what I mean? I think he showed it again today. He powered up a couple of long balls that on a good day may have left the ballpark.
Yeah, they said the wind was blowing in a little bit today. So
right.
Maybe,
you know what I mean? So I like the way they've addressed that, but still, what are you doing in center field? Are you gonna rotate Rojas and Marsh?
That's what they're doing.
That the plan?
That's going to be the plan, and it looks like Armando Sosa and Stott at second base. They're going to be flip flopping as much as they can.
I don't like that a little bit.
Right.
I don't like that a little bit because I just think Stott brings so much more to the table, and should be in there every night. I just don't. Yeah. I don't get that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and he's in his last 15 at bats or whatever, he's close to 500 hitting. So I mean, it's not like he's not doing something right now to be like, hey, look, I'm out of it. Let me keep going. And Sosa's not. He's been struggling since the All-Star break. Which is again, partly where my fear factor is getting even more feared right now with the winning the division. and having the bye coming back into the playoffs because yeah, bad word analytics, Wally, but just coming back and having that off time. The
You know
bats
what?
affected by the Phillies.
Let me ask you a question because if analytics is the reason, right? Then we're not using analytics properly in Philadelphia
Yeah.
because you're talking about guys, numbers game, and you just pointed out that Stott's, been on fire for a while,
Yeah,
right?
the last couple games, yeah.
And then he's not existent for a game or two.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're putting in a guy, who's potentially better, and I just look at the defensive play of Stott. You know what I mean? I just look at, I mean, I understand Trey Turner needs a day off. Everybody deserves a day off. But, here's game 3 against a potential opponent, in the playoffs, right? They're trust me, they were looking to kick your ass, and they did for 3 straight nights.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
They kicked the snot out of you for 3 straight games. And who was a kid that the Yankees just got from the Marlins? Chaz Chisholm. Chaz. He just gave the big FU to the Phillies. You didn't want me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't think I'm good enough? He put the big FU all over Citizens Bank Park this past 3 nights.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I'm tired of this analytics game. I heard the comment. I don't know where. Probably during one of the games that Rob Thompson's a lot like Joe Torre, from back in the day. Well, goddamn, give me Joe Torre's lineup then. Give me those lineups day in and day out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm very frustrated, because they had a phenomenal first half. They were playing good baseball. I don't care who the opponent was. They were playing good baseball. They were hitting the ball all over the yard.
But didn't you think at some point the other shoe would have to drop? I mean, did you honestly think that they were just going to continue on that path for the rest of the season?
I just never thought it would get this bad. I mean,
but
bad.
I mean, it is bad, and I'm not trying to minimize that. But does it feel worse than it is because of how good it was?
Well, exactly.
It's a good question. It's a valid question.
Yeah. No,
they're still a great baseball team, and they're in a good spot in the standings for right now. But I understand, you want to win every series, and I get that. But I mean, there was no way they were going to be the best team in baseball from here until the World Series. At some point, there was going to be a bump in the road. This might be a much bigger bump than we had hoped for. This might be a lot more bumps than we had hoped for. But don't you think they'll straighten it out and they'll get back on track?
Well, all right. So, I mean, I'll ask the question, can it get any worse?
Yeah. Of course it can.
Can it get any worse? I mean, losing your last 5 series.
You could have injuries build up.
Well, that's another key component to this whole conversation because a lot of this was generated, through injuries.
Sure.
Right.
Well, that's all part of the game.
The starting pitching started to have some issues, but I just go back to not having that stable of a lineup 1 through 9.
Well, that's the key exactly because I mean
1 through.
But most teams don't. Most teams don't have a stable lineup 1 through 9.
Today they don't know, but like you were saying, Joe Torre, he pretty much. I'm trying to go through that Yankees lineup. I don't remember too many platoon situations there. Maybe 1 or 2, but not many.
Compare those Yankee teams to the Phillies of today.
Well, the comparison was
I don't let you
sure.
I don't know if you could say that because the Phillies today, this team's stacked with all-stars at pretty much at every position, really.
But then, so how is there not a good 1 to 9? If they're stacked, how is there not a good 1 to 9 lineup?
Because they intermixed them. So like you take Bryson Stott out of the lineup and put Amanda Sosa in there for a stretch, against righties and lefties, and and then you got Stubbs going in there a lot, lately because JT just coming back off the injury,
right?
And then you get guys, Rojas has been out in the outfield, the kid's got to sit down. I mean, I know he's got a good ball, but he's got to go until he gets his head out of his ass when trying to swing for the fences. I mean, he swings harder than Aaron Judge does at every time up the bat.
But they all do. They all do that. Bryce Harper's the same way. He swings so hard. No wonder he has back issues.
Well, I understand.
And last night, and trust me, I don't watch the games from the first to the last pitch. But every time they go up there, every Phillies player swings at the first pitch. And I know it's because they know it's going to be a strike. I'm aware of that. But they swing at the first pitch. They don't even give a chance to read the pitcher, to do anything like that. The bases are loaded. It's the bottom of the ninth, and Bryson Stott and Harper both had a chance to win it, and they swing at the first pitch and get the outs.
Right. Oh yeah.
There's just no patience. Relax. Look at a few pitches first before you just go up there arbitrarily swinging left and right.
Well, here's part of, and I'll piggyback off of Scotty Black with shaking up the lineup because
But when they
Topper,
do that, you guys get mad.
Well, Topper refuses to, and I'll take last night's lineup because that's where he's got all his bench players all grouped together. 6, 7, 8, and 9. He's got the whole bench
but isn't
team.
that like fundamental baseball? You normally put those guys. I mean, there's a reason that when the National League
do they all have to be together? Does it all have to happen on one night? I mean, that's the thing that's kind of crazy, where everybody gets the day off at the same time. We gotta throw all the backups in there together at the same time.
Right. Well, that's the analytic part of it. Hey, let's get them all out of the way at one time, and
maybe
and
today was we weren't going to win the series as it was, and they maybe don't view it as a must-win game.
You know what? Let's back up a second because game 1 they got throttled. They were never in that game.
Right. Yeah.
But last night they played hard. They kept coming back.
Oh yeah.
They played hard. What tore my heart out was they left the bases loaded. The ninth
inning.
The 9th and 10th inning, back to back. They left the bases loaded. I'm like,
and if it wasn't for the closer Holmes throwing the wild pitch, they don't tie the game up.
They don't even tie that game up.
I mean, they that would have been even worse. I mean, but
and again today, they battled. What I mean? They battled. And
Weston Wilson, he came in and hit a home run. I mean, which is the kind of the same stuff. But it's just I don't know. It's just tough.
Well, like Lauren said, I mean, they played some unbelievable first half of baseball.
Exactly.
And we got spoiled. We got spoiled the first half, and now they're in a team-wide slump. There isn't one guy that you could say has put this team on his back or is at least trying. I think they're all held accountable. I get that Bryce Harper's 1 for 30. He's the guy you want to go after because he's the guy. I get that. But there isn't – I mean, Zach Wheeler looked horrible the other night. Aaron Nola didn't look great today. I mean, there's so many –
Well, it was Nola last night.
Nola last
Sanchez.
night and Wheeler on Monday. But there isn't one guy that I think is sort of like, well, at least he's playing okay. The whole team seems to be in a team-wide slump right now.
Well, that's what happens with this team, that they all go together. When it goes bad.
Have we seen it this bad? Have we seen it this bad?
Yeah, Arizona last year in the NLCS.
Well, I don't even know that that was because it was the last couple of games. You know what I mean? I mean, you still got close to 50 games to play.
Oh, right. I mean,
what I mean?
The thing is, the Phillies do this every year. They have their stretches. I mean, and every team does. I mean, it's just It's not. It just looks bad, and everybody wants to jump down, and be like, oh well, they won 700 winning percentage the first half of the year, and you got to do it the whole year, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, there's very few teams that do that.
Well, it's funny because these games against the better opponents have kind of like shaken up the troops, you might say. You know what I mean? Did it put a little bit more pressure on the Phillies as a team? Like oh boy, you know what I mean? But you look at this team, how well they played against in that Dodger series, and what they've done since.
Yeah.
You can't even balance that.
Well, I think all it goes back to is, if anything, when you have playoff teams that you're playing against, they can attack this lineup differently. Like we've always said, if you don't have that bottom of the order hitting, this team's very easy to pitch around. You'll get the bases loaded a lot. You never get that. You need that final hit, which is what makes it so frustrating. But that's why they need to be clicking in all cylinders when it comes to playoff time. And
well, I feel like even in the first half, you know what I mean. We went through peaks and valleys with different players.
Right.
Different players getting hot. Schwarber carried us.
Yeah.
Nick had a horrible first half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had a horrible first half. You know what I mean?
JT was doing well before he got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, you had peaks and valleys with different players.
Same thing with Trey Turner and stuff.
The starting staff was just exceptional. We got spoiled big time there with four guys, that were capable every night.
Yeah, and then Bohm was driving in the runs, not hitting home runs, but he was hitting.
Sure, he still leads the league in doubles, right?
Well, yeah, doubles. Yeah, he leads the league in, but I mean, he had 2 RBIs this month of July.
Right.
It just he struggled. He hasn't been able to knock in the RBIs this
year. So all right. So let me throw this at you, and I don't know if I it's fair enough, but so where did this failure come from? And where can we point fingers to try to like eliminate some of this, bad swinging, taking bad pitches, where did this all come from? Since the All-Star break, since the Dodger series, since whatever you want to call it, since we had a 10-game lead, which is now down to what, 7.5?
6.5 right at the moment.
6.5, even worse yet.
Yeah, the Braves won today.
Yeah, so there you go, 6.5.
Well, I mean, it all to me it all comes back to the All-Star game. Actually, really, ever since the London series, they're 20-24 since the beginning of June with the London series.
I knew you'd throw another stat at me.
They're playing. Those 44 games, they're 4 games under 500. Since then, and but it's to me, it's just having that time off. I really. This team, we're just watching them over the past couple of years. Once they get off swinging, they don't get it back. I mean, it takes a little while to get it back with this team. And that the All-Star game. That's why I was kind of looking at that All-Star break to kind of see how it was going to go this October when we do win the division. Because I still think they're going to win the division. It's going to get closer. Every team that the Phillies have had 3 teams now have a 10-game lead in their history, and all 3 of them have dropped back to a 3-game lead at some point during the season after that. So this could get a lot closer even still, and doesn't mean that they're not going to win the division. But hang on to your hats and be happy and enjoy what's going on. But it's not fun while we're going through it, but it's just
all right. So let's look at the upcoming road trip where you start off with Seattle for 3, the Dodgers for 3, and then Arizona, I believe, for 4, right?
Yep.
What I mean, if you're a procrastinator and you're the analytic guru, what's the best case scenario to come out of that? 10 games?
Well, I mean, the good thing about it is, except for the Diamondbacks, the other two teams are playing mediocre as well. The Mariners are 5-5 over their last 10 games. The Dodgers are only 6-4 over their last 10 games, and Arizona 7-3. So over the last 10 games. So it's not like anybody's really running away with things. I mean, yeah, it looks bad for the Phillies, but the Braves are only 4-6, and the Mets are 7-3, and there's a lot of teams playing 500 baseball right now. It's that middle of the season where the season's getting a little bit. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the dog days of summer, as they call them.
Mm-hmm.
You just survive. You just want to survive this time, and then
That's what I think. That's what I think it goes back to. To answer your question, Dad, is I think it's just a perfect storm right now.
right.
Like you mentioned, John, after the London series, coming back from that's got to be hard on you. The jet lag has to be hard on anybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then, go into the All-Star break, you took your foot off the gas. Everybody took their foot off the gas. And if you're telling me that Alec Bohm had 2 RBIs in the month of July, then you stop and think about that home run derby, because a lot of guys are hesitant to participate in it because they say it can affect your swing.
Right.
So I'm not saying that is what happened, but it seems coincidental that he did participate in that, and now he seems to be having trouble. So I just think it's a culmination of just everything coming together. The London series, the All-Star break, the dog days of summer, the whole team just seems to be in a slump, because when they feed off each other in a positive way, we love it.
Oh yeah.
We embrace it. It's what we live for. But when they feed off each other in a negative way, it's doomsday throughout Philadelphia.
Yeah, and to be a supporter for Bohm right at the moment, I don't know that the home run derby has affected him as much. I mean, he's still hitting doubles right now himself. I just think it's the rest of the lineups just not there.
And I'm not even saying that that's what happened. But I do know that that's been said. A lot of guys are hesitant to participate because it is such an unnatural thing for a baseball player to just go up there and swing constantly for 2 minutes.
Right. I'm just saying, as far as he's doing his part still. At least if he was going, 0 for 4, if he was an 0 for 30 stretch, that would maybe be a little bit different. But I mean, he had a triple today and a double today, so you would think he would get an RBI somewhere with that, and he didn't get any RBIs because the guys weren't on base in front of him. Right. So, it's just it's just a tough situation, and then once, unfortunately for this team, like you said, they feed off of each other in a good way or a bad way, and it's just going in the wrong situation right now. You're playing good teams, so it's not like if you were playing some of the weaker teams, you might have won a couple of these games. I mean, you scored 7 runs in these games against the Yankees. You just lost. But if you put those 6-7 runs up against the Florida Marlins, you win those games at this time. It's just, you're playing a good competition. It wasn't like you played the 2 best teams in the American League, the Yankees and the Guardians, the last 6 games. And you played them tough. You just didn't come up at the end. That's all. So.
All right. Well, they're off tomorrow, and then.
Well, they can't lose tomorrow then.
No, they can't.
So there's that.
There's a positive.
It appears that Wally wants the analytics people gone completely. He wants to get rid of the analytic people. So.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't either.
There's more analytics than ever. I can speak from experience in Reading. There's more cameras on every angle that I've ever seen. There's a whole video room dedicated to that now from their renovations. So I don't think that's going to happen.
We got to hopefully, I talk about it all the time. Home cooking, coming home. sleeping in your own bed. Well, maybe this is the complete opposite. Maybe this is a good time for him to get out of Philly, go on the road, hang out, rebond, as a team, welcome the new players, to the team, which I'd like to I'd like to hear your opinion, on the three new guys that we got, John, because those two arms look pretty impressive. The little bit of pitching I've seen so far, and
Yeah.
Austin Hayes looks like he's going to fit in real nice in left field. What do you have on those guys?
Yeah, I think Austin Hayes is going to do well. He was an all-star last year. I think he got affected a little bit with the Baltimore having a younger team with some guys coming up, blocking him in there, and with them moving those fences back last year. I think it was last year or the year before. He could have had 10 more home runs. They said if it like a spray chart, if you would have overlaid where those balls were hit in Camden Yards versus here.
He looks like he's got a quick bat. What I mean? From what I could see, it looks like he's got a quick bat, and I guess he was the odd man out in Baltimore because they had so much other talent to go with.
Exactly, and he's kind of like a Brent Rooker, kind of the same type of player. I like that they're giving him a shot to play full time in left field, and then platooning Marsh and Rojas, because me, the less you can get Rojas out of the more time you can get Rojas out of there, the better for me. I mean, because he just frustrates. I mean, he's a great defensive guy, but if he would just cut his swing down and just do the small things, just making contact, not trying to hit a 500-foot home run, just hit line drives like Larry Bowa said. Just hit the ball on the ground and run. You're going to beat out half of those ground balls.
Yep.
And then Estevez from the Angels, Anaheim. There, he's 20 out of 23 saves, so I think he's going to be a nice.
Let me ask you the almighty question: are they going to use him as a closer?
Yes.
Okay.
They are. It certainly sounds that way.
So you're gonna pretty much see Strom, Hoffman, and Alvarado, 6, 7, 8, and then
yes,
and then your closer in the ninth.
Yep, and with Kirkland and mixed in there as well. But yeah, and have Estevez as the closer going forward, at least for a little while until he shows that he can't do it here with Philadelphia.
Right.
But he's 20 out of 23, so I'll take my chances there with that.
So they, on a truly positive note, they can't continue to play bad baseball. July's out of the way. They're off on August 1st.
Right.
All we can do is, like Lauren said, hit the reset button and
try unplugging them for 30 seconds and plugging them back in. That seems to fix a lot of issues.
That's the electrical world, right?
Yep.
That's what Bryce Harper even said that himself today. Just let's get that calendar changed to August, and flip the calendar, and it's as stupid as it is, but it happens every team every year. Flipping that calendar makes a totally different outlook on things. Once things are going, because baseball players are superstitious for sure.
Very, very, very
and
very.
So once they get that new date, it's a lot looking forward to it. So,
all right, let's catch up on a little Birds camp news.
The last thing on here says trash talking Mitchell versus AJ Brown. That's the last thing on the note.
There you go. That's the best part.
Well, there's something on the corner, but I can't read that from here.
Every
what's in the corner? What's the? Oh, Harper, 161 in July, 4 home runs. We covered that one. All right, trash talking.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Yeah, I guess aside from a couple of offensive line additions by subtractions, I guess Steen got hurt. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, Steen was hurt, so they got Beckham in there, And
That was the kid. That was the kid that they signed from the Jets, correct?
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Landon
And
Dickerson had a lacerated foot.
Oh, geez.
That sounds like he
So-
got his foot chopped off.
Yeah.
Is that from cutting grass or what? What
That's
happened
what
there?
I'm wondering. I don't know what happened there. He has a lacerated toe, I think is what they were saying. So
Yikes.
Jeez.
he's been out a little bit. Which is giving other guys some time
Sure.
to get
Sure.
out there and help out. What was it? The kid from Michigan, Hagen, was it? I think the lineman.
Oh, the big boy. He's a monster.
Yeah, he was
Kid that
getting
they just drafted, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So that he was getting some time, so that was good for him.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody keeps talking about Jalen Hurts, not missing. He's sharp as can be throwing the ball, so that's a good sign. I'm still just wanting to just see throwing the ball in the middle of the field. Everything. He's got a beautiful touch throwing that ball into the trash can, type of thing. That drill, throwing it into the corner of the end zone and just throwing it right up over top of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to go get it. He throws a great ball like that, but that's all you keep seeing when all the passes. I still haven't seen stuff across the middle, and that's I'm hoping Kellen Moore is going to have a better handle on things and get him to throw the ball in the middle of the field for the offense. So I think that'll.
Well, if you're going to get Dallas Goedert in the game, I mean that's
right. Exactly.
That's his direction.
Exactly. And plus for Devontae Smith going across the middle and AJ Brown, getting those two guys going across the middle, it'll just open up the whole field for everything else. If you just keep sending them to the outside, you're going to get shut down as well on that a little bit.
So what's all this trash talking between Quinyon Mitchell and AJ Brown? Is that just for the media or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just to get each other pumped up. Pushing each other. A little bit of gamesmanship for each other.
Well, I mean, Quinyon came in and gave it to AJ, and AJ as the veteran's not going to just sit back and let this rookie,
exactly.
show who's boss. So of course AJ's gonna stand up and make a game out of
it. And the thing too, the impressive part about it is Quinyon Mitchell's actually going out of his way to cover AJ Brown, and when they're doing going through the lineups, he's making it so that when it's AJ Brown's turn, it's his turn to be covering him on that snap. So he's not shying away from the competition there, which is good to see. Yeah, I mean, he supposedly the first day he blanket covered it. AJ Brown and Devontae or Jalen Hurts wouldn't even throw the ball to him on the first play, and then AJ Brown's like, "Well, we're going right back and let's go. We're doing it again." And Jalen Hurts threw him the ball, and he made a one-handed catch on the ball, and Quinyon Mitchell had him pushed out of bounds before he was able to complete the catch. He made the catch, but it was out of bounds. It was a good thing he got him again when he did come back at him. So I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think he's going to be a good player. And when he was here sitting at this table, I mean, there couldn't have been a more respectful player person coming out. And if he was half as good of a player as he is a person, then he's going to be a hell of a player.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll pick up this conversation 1 week from tonight because we've got another round table scheduled for being home and not on the road. So that'll take us to next Wednesday night, August 7th.
7th, yeah.
And then we move on the road the following week to Hanrahan's Irish Pub with former general manager Ed Wade.
Yeah. Breaking down have him break down all the moves.
Yeah, should be a good conversation. It was the last time we had him.
It was awesome.
We really enjoyed all the he had a lot of good stories. Plus, I mean, he's a former general manager. What, why wouldn't you, right?
And correct
Right.
me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he the one who emailed Anthony afterwards with a speech that
Yes.
he had written for something?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
baseball lifer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. Hanrahan's always a good spot for us
Oh, yeah.
in Delco.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks out, we're back at Buffalo Wild Wings in Glen Mills.
Nice.
So that takes care of our August calendar.
Yes.
So we're still working on a guest for that night, but we've got some good things going, and we're hoping to lock somebody in for that. So that pretty much takes care of the summer.
Yeah. Crazy.
And before you know it, we're going to be talking a whole lot of football mixed in with a whole lot of baseball.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't even get to talk basketball or Flyers hockey because they've been in the news as well.
Oh yeah.
Been a lot of good things happening, and this should be a great year for all four of our Philly sports teams. So I know I'm looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to it?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Johnny, are you looking forward to it?
Absolutely. We've been in contract talks that we're trying to get it maybe to like an hour and a half, 2 hour show. I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll see.
All right. Well, let me know, okay? I want my contract renewed.
Same.
Exactly. But
Call my agent.
call my
My
agent.
agent. I remember somebody else had that to say.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean,
All right.
it's gonna be fun.
Do we want to cut it here? What do you got? What do you want to do?
I'm merely just the sidekick.
You're just the sidekick.
That's right.
You're more than the sidekick.
I think Johnny put a little input into his rant this week.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
And
we
I
already
don't
used
wanna,
up the rant.
You don't want to.
We already used it up.
We already took care of it.
I mean, we kind of did. I mean, because it was kind of the. I mean, we can go into it a little bit, but I mean, it was.
No, we don't have to. I just.
It was all about. It was just about just chilling out with this Phillies team. I mean, it's everybody wants to talk about how great the Yankees are. Well, they're in a 20 for 26 stretch right at the moment. They just beat us.
Swept by the Mets.
They did 4 games. They did. I mean, the same time since the London series, they're 20 and 26. And the only difference is they're starting to come out of it right now a little bit where they beat the Phillies. But they were still 6 games under 500. We were only 4 games under 500, throughout that stretch. So, it happens all around baseball. It's a long season. They weren't going 162-0. It's you're going to go. I'd rather have them do it now than in September and October. Because that's when the baseball is going to be real. And
all right.
It's hardly a rant when it's to tell everybody to calm down.
I know.
Well, I was just mad, just mad, just that you have all these fans, coming in, ready to jump off the bridge. Like it's a 15 game stretch. I mean, yeah, I know it's not looking good right at the moment. You want them to win, you don't want them to lose these 5 series, but it's if you just play it all out, it's all good. It's you won 70% of the games earlier in the year. It's the law of averages. It's going to balance out at some point.
Absolutely.
And everybody else in our division is losing at the same rate. So, you weren't really losing ground. You lost two games, the last 2 days, in the standings. But, you still got a 6.5 game lead. If that was a little bit different, maybe it's a different situation. But,
right.
It's just just relax. It's enjoy the summer while it's still here, and enjoy the game, even though it's frustrating at times. But this is a hell of a season that the Phillies are giving us right at the moment, even with this bad stretch, and we just got to enjoy the positives out of it.
All right, Mr. Baseball.
I'm the voice of reason, right?
I see
That's
that.
right.
I see
That's
that.
right. I like this new Johnny.
I see this.
You know,
I see this. I'll be home soon. I'll get this shit figured out.
I'm getting myself warmed up right in time for the football season when I got to explode. Because
right.
that's a different story because now it's only 17 games instead of 162. Like,
Oh boy,
it's a little bit different of a situation. 10 game stretch is one game in football. So I mean, you got to just relax.
All right.
They only had one bad game.
Yeah, right.
One bad game and a half. All right, so just relax.
Thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate you jumping in and with your questions and comments. We try to get to as many of them as we can.
Yeah.
You can email Johnny anytime, myself anytime, Lauren. You can catch us, This Fan's View, on the page. We're there every day. So follow us.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your night because I know we are.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy.
All right. Take care.
See you later.
See ya.